Supernova, a star that suddenly increases greatly in brightness because of a catastrophic explosion. A supernova can shine brighter than a galaxy of normal stars. Hi, I'm Jen and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a phenomenon that is so important to me called post-traumatic growth. Now, you've probably heard of post-traumatic stress disorder, which happens after a traumatic experience and someone has repressed certain things about it, and they come back and are very reactive to their environment because they believe it's related to their trauma subconsciously. Now, post-traumatic growth, on the other hand, is a very positive thing that can come out of tragic experiences. You can have both post-traumatic growth and post-traumatic stress. Usually, you would probably get over your post-traumatic stress and then get into the post-traumatic growth. I can personally say that I've been through both, or at least have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress and now definitely experience a lot of post-traumatic growth. So obviously your curiosity is probably wondering, why have I experienced post-traumatic stress? As you may know from my channel, in 2011 my father committed suicide, and I actually found him and obviously had a reaction to that, and I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, which I thought was kind of strange because what I learned in school is that you can't really be diagnosed with that until a certain amount of time has passed after the event, and they diagnosed it with me within a week of the event happening, because I don't really think that's post-traumatic, like that's like still in the trauma, but I was diagnosed with that, but now I'm on the other end and I've become a lot of a stronger person because of this experience. And that's what I'll be explaining, how someone becomes a better person through traumatic experiences. While traumatic experiences do allow for this great opportunity for a great amount of growth, of course, no one is recommending that you make a traumatic experience happen to yourself. It's just that when you are in this situation, you have to find meaning, and through that meaning, you learn how to live your life in a different way and grow a lot, which I'll be going through each of the ways that you grow when you go through post-traumatic growth. First, I just want to read off a few quotes that are commonly associated with people who have gone through post-traumatic growth. So one of them is, "My priorities have changed. I'm not afraid to do what makes me happy. I know who I really am now. I value my closest relationships more now. I have a new sense of meaning and purpose, and I am better able to focus on my goals and dreams." And I know those all resonate really well with me. Before my dad died, I valued good grades in school very, very highly. It was basically the most important thing to me, and I did really well in school. And I still did well in school the year after he died, but I just didn't enjoy the work, and it didn't feel as good getting the good grades, and it really didn't mean as much to me. And I journaled about it so much, and I just knew, I'm if you actually watch my video, "What is the point of life?" I read this this journal entry by me where I was basically saying, I don't think I even want to be a doctor anymore. I don't want to know every detail of how the body works. I just want to help people and prevent more people from committing suicide. And so this was me really realizing what kind of things were important to me. What's important to me is my own happiness in life and helping others be happy. And I believe I can still do that through science, by learning about the brain and psychology. However, before, I just wanted to be a doctor because I thought it was what the smartest people do, and I considered myself one of the smartest people, and I wanted to be a doctor and be successful in that way. And now I realized showing out to the world how smart I am and being successful is no longer my highest priority. Now I just want to heal myself and help others heal and try to stop someone else from committing suicide so that my dad maybe didn't die for no reason. And one thing I want to point out is I don't like it when people say, "Oh, everything happens for a reason," and things like that. But how I see it is things happen, and then you can choose how to take it from there. I'm not going to say the universe killed my dad to help me become a stronger person. I don't think that's what happened. I think he died, and that was a fact, and I needed to get over it in the strongest way I possibly could. Before I also go into the rest of the parts of post-traumatic growth, I want to also say well, what sets people apart? Who goes through post-traumatic growth and who doesn't go through post-traumatic growth? And people who don't go through it are people who ruminate on the event itself as opposed to finding meaning in the consequences of the event. So I could have just ruminated on my father's suicide forever and just been like, why'd he kill himself? Blah, blah, blah. Why'd he kill himself? Why'd he kill himself? Why me? Why me? Why me? And then I did do that for a few months. But really what I ended up doing was focusing on where can I go from here? How can I help other people from stopping this? And I didn't make it any longer about the event, but what I could do in the future. So actually my whole next video, I want to make it about rumination and people kind of obsessing over trying to figure out why people kill themselves and how that really is a road that leads to nowhere. But that'll be the next video because this one is all about positivity and growth, and that one will have a positive outcome because I think it will help people to find out, you know, to get them off of this negative track. But right now we're going to stay on this positive track of post-traumatic growth. So people who go through post-traumatic growth actually enhance something called psychological well-being, and there is 6 aspects of psychological well-being. And when you look at post-traumatic growth and when you look at trauma and how people respond to trauma, and then you look at the 6 parts of psychological well-being, you can see how trauma could actually help each of these 6 areas of psychological well-being. So the first area is purpose in life. And as you heard from my own anecdote, my dad dying gave me a purpose in life, a purpose for my own self to choose. I really want to be happy and I want to help other people be happy and not go down the same route as my father. So it's given me true purpose in life. Before that, my purpose was I just want to be a doctor and look smart and make money and help people. But the way I wanted to help people was just, it wasn't as true and dear to my heart. But now I have more purpose in why I want to help people. The second aspect of psychological well-being is personal growth. I think that one is just inevitable. When you go through something like this, you're going to have to be growing constantly to get through this, and you just have a totally new life experience that you are now a more developed person. The third is self-acceptance. So I think I definitely did start to accept myself more, and I just was easier on myself that senior year. I knew I was just like, I needed to take a week off from school because I was like, I just can't do this and it's okay. I really don't care about a week of school right now. I care about taking care of myself. And I also, like I said, was really obsessed with getting straight A's. And now I realized that's really not important to me anymore. I'm this person who's going through this crazy experience and I'm enough just through going that. I'm strong and I'm amazing just through making it to the other side of this tragedy is what I even knew then. So I think I definitely accept myself more. I don't need to prove to myself that I can be the smartest person in any room because I just know I'm strong and I made it through something really hard and I can make it through another hard thing again one day. The next area is autonomy. So autonomy is basically having your own value systems and not believing in the value systems put around from people around you or society even. So this definitely came back to grades again. I no longer cared that the school wanted me to get good grades. I was still getting good grades, but I was realizing slowly that this wasn't my value. Being super, super successful, which was kind of like the American dream, is no longer my value. My value more is to go after doing exactly what I love in life and being as happy as I can possibly be. The 5th area is called environmental mastery. And this one is I think it's so important, and I think it is ultimately what sets me apart from my dad. I will never ever commit suicide because I know how to take advantage of the systems around me. I know that if I need to get therapy, I can go to therapy. And if I need to see a doctor, I'll go to a doctor. I'm not ashamed of any struggle I'm going through, and I already know so many coping mechanisms, and I think that's what environmental mastery is. It's using the environment around you to help you in the best way it can. And I think I urge everyone who thinks that they might have a mental illness to use the systems that are there for you. That's your job. No one else knows what's going on in your head but you. And so you're the one that needs to go and get the help that you need. And master your environment. You're not a victim to the environment. You're not a victim to the world, but you need to do what you need to do to get help. And the last area is positive relationships. Now, this one I learned who were the nicest of my friends and who were people I needed to cut out of my life. So, the summer my dad died, I hung out with one friend a lot, and he was so supportive. And he wasn't even my best friend before that. He was a good friend, but now I'll never forget that. And I don't even talk to him all the time anymore, but I'll always remember that he is an amazing person, where a lot of people who I thought I was closer with were not around to help me in that way that he did that year. And then I also had a friend who was close, but we'd kind of been fading apart. And she was extremely mean to me the week my dad died. So after that, I was like, okay, I don't need to talk to you anymore, because who does that? But like, that's like nothing against her. We probably weren't meant to be friends anyway. We were very different people. But you do realize who are the people that mesh well with you when you're in a circumstance that's traumatic, and how they react and how they treat you through that experience. Going through trauma definitely isn't easy, and it's not all happiness and butterflies for a very long time after the traumatic experience, but it's just good. You can now know that there's good that can come out of it, and you can just be a really strong being. You don't have to be a victim. You can just be rested knowing that you will be stronger, and you will know what you want more in life once you make it through this traumatic experience. If you like this video, please like it and share it with anyone who's going through post-traumatic stress or needs to go through post-traumatic growth, or anyone who's just suffering with anything, because I believe that there's no issue that's too small that you can't learn great lessons from. You can subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll make a playlist of all the videos about what I've gone through with my father's suicide, and I'll put that in the description below. All right, comment below if you have a post-traumatic growth story that you want to share, or if you have any questions about it. All right, bye.